Yo, what is going on, everyone in the XRP community? Hope you guys are having yourselves a fantastic day today as usual. And boy, do I have some information for you guys today. So, the interview with Brad Garlinghouse and Julia Chatterley on CNN was just released in its entirety today, and we watched the whole thing live on stream with a little bit of analysis. And one of Brad's statements was actually quite revealing. And if we really do the math, if ODL was to increase at the same rate in the US-Mexico corridor, it seems like, guys, that this year, XRP is going to have majority of the remittance volume from US to Mexico. And honestly, rest in peace, SWIFT, because this seems like the first corridor where SWIFT is really going to get killed by XRP, and we do have some info to back that up. So let's go ahead, guys. Let's get into it. It's some pretty exciting stuff, but real quick, though, quick XRP chart update. We're really just kind of coming down to this general support area, and it seems like we're going to play out in some consolidation here for a bit, but hopefully we do make some moves to the upside. At the daily chart, for example, again, if you look at the grand scheme of things, this seems like it might just be a pullback to then continue moving forward, or we go right back down to frickin' 17 cents. I really don't know, but just hoping it's simply a pullback. All right, so you guys can go ahead and check out the full 21-minute interview yourself from Julia Chatterley. You can go ahead and check the likes on my profile. It'll be there for you, and you can download and watch the whole 21-minute interview. And in the interview, Brad Garlinghouse made a very intriguing statement because, as we know, at the beginning of February, Ripple executive, SVP at Ripple, Ashish Birla came out and said that 7.5% of all U.S. to Mexico remittances are now going through XRP via ODL. Exciting, right? Now, in this interview today, Brad Garlinghouse, he confirmed that back in December of 2019, XRP only had 3% of all the US to Mexico remittance volume. But then he confirmed that 2 months later in February that it had increased to 7.5%. So it's like, 150% increase in ODL volume in the US Mexico corridor in just 2 months. Well, it's like, let's go ahead and do the math on that. So that's where we're going to go ahead and go to Sketchpad. And guys, this is where it's really going to be exciting to know that potentially at the end of the year or near the end of the year or whenever, it looks like SWIFT is going bye-bye in the US to Mexico corridor. And very, very exciting. And this is going to be the first corridor, in my opinion, where XRP is going to be the dominant settlement mechanism. And once that happens in US to Mexico, that is going to gradually spread to every other corridor out there. So, Brad Garlinghouse, he confirmed December, they were at 3%. ODL had 3% of all US to Mexico flows. Then he said in early February, it increased to 7.5%. So just in a 2-month period, it increased 150%. So I started really doing the math. I'm like, okay, well, if it increased 150% in those 2 months, let's just say theoretically that the rate of increase does not change. It does not go up. It doesn't get more or it doesn't get lower. But let's just say that rate, the increase rate would stay exactly the same. So December to February, 3% to 7.5%. Very significant increase for a 2-month period. Now, let's say we go from February to, all right, so January, February, March, April. So let's say February to April, my birthday month. Let's say it was also a 150% increase. That would mean that it would increase from 7.5% and it would go to 18. Oh my God, that's the worst 8 I have ever seen in my life. 18.75%. So if we continue at the same rate of growth in the US to Mexico corridor, make that very clear. Yeah, I'm not talking like, all ODL, like all remittances ever, just talking specifically in between US to Mexico. If we had that same 150% rate increase in the next 2 months, that would mean by April, we would have approximately 19% of all the US to Mexico corridor volume. Now, let's keep going. Now, let's say from, and again, we're not increasing the rate. We are keeping it constant at the same rate. So now if we go from April, it's, how do the months go? Jeez, it's freaking January, February, March, April, May, June. Okay, from April to June, theoretically, if it went from 18.75% and increased another 150%, we would literally be at 46.875% of US Mexico remittances. Think about that for a second. If we just stay at the same percentage rate of increase that we have confirmed by Brad Garlinghouse, by June, we should be damn near 50% of all US to Mexico payment flows on the XRP ledger. And this seems very possible because just one of Ripple's new partners, or well, now one of Ripple's current partners, Intermex, already has 27% of the market share just in that one company. So it seems like a very realistic thing as long as the liquidity continues to increase and this hopefully goes into the next freaking big parabolic impulse, right? So June, July, August, if we're going another 2 months, from June to August. Now, if we have a 150% increase from 46.85%, that is literally over 100%. So realistically here, let's just say August we get like, worst case scenario, we get 51% of US Mexico flow. Guys, the rate of, 3% to 7.5%, it might not seem like that much on paper, but that actually is kind of a big deal. Because Brad was saying that I think it was like 7.7 million per day with his like weekly, or I think it's like 9 million per day. I mean, you're going from like basically 4 million a day to 9. I mean, that's a very significant increase for just 2 months. And guys, if this stays at the same increase rate, like by the middle of the year, we are potentially looking at being the dominant settlement mechanism for US to Mexico flows. And that seems like it could actually happen halfway through the year. So guys, the point I'm trying to drive forward is that based on Brad Garlinghouse's intriguing statement from today, we could literally be killing Swift in this corridor before the end of the year. And I think that is very, very exciting. And again, it makes a lot of sense because the Mexican peso XRP liquidity index has been doing what? Going absolutely parabolic. And just today, it actually broke an all-time high of like 20 million XRP in 1 day worth of transfers. So literally, by using the data Brad Garlinghouse has given us, it seems as though by the middle of the year, XRP will have more market share than Swift between US to Mexico payment flows. That, my friends, is very, very exciting. And I think we could say in the US Mexico corridor, rest in peace Swift, because guys, the growth of ODL is accelerating. It is getting very, very parabolic in terms of volume. Maybe that might transfer to the price action. We don't know, but it seems like XRP is about to kick Swift's ass right out of the US Mexico pair. Because, man, again, what I really talked about on the channel before XRapid or ODL was even live is I always made the example. It's like, okay, if anything becomes cheaper, faster, better, easier to use, it's naturally going to take over. It has to. And that is clearly what is going on here. And this year, with my estimations, based on Brad Garlinghouse's statement, we are literally going to have majority market share by the middle of the year. And once that happens, guys, once we have more market share than Swift in one corridor, it's going to do nothing but spread to other corridors because institutions are going to see, oh my God, in such a short period of time, XRP literally kicked Swift's ass in the US dollar Mexican peso corridor. So guys, it is happening. If we want to do some more math on that, remittances hit a new record high of $33 billion in 2018. So let's say by the middle of the year, we can get 51% of that, right? So we go 51% of 33 billion. That would be 16.83 billion in about 1 year, right? So if we take that 16 billion in 1 year, divide that by 365, we're looking at having essentially, hang on, I think my mask is a little, 1 second. Okay, so we're doing 16.83 billion, right? Divided by 365. You're literally looking at having $4 million per day coming on the XRP ledger just from the US to Mexico corridor. And guys, this is where it makes sense that the speculative phase about XRP is kind of coming to an end, and it's really going to start being about the utility. And it really, it's like the puzzle pieces are really just coming together with Brad Garlinghouse's statement with a 150% increase. And then if we go to the liquidity index bot, what are we seeing? Oh, latest one. Oh yeah, XRP to Mexican peso broke all-time high. And clearly the ODO volume is ramping up, and it's going to continue to do so. And if it does so at the same exact rate, we are going to be whooping Swift's ass in this corridor, and the world is going to see, wow, XRP has become the dominant settlement currency for this corridor. And that's going to continue to spread like no other. Guys, very, very exciting information. Cannot wait to see exactly how much dominance we're going to be getting in this corridor. But we'll go ahead and kind of make an update video. Where are we at? Sketchpad. I'll go ahead and in April, we'll make an update video and see if we get any more statements about the progress of the XRP dominance in US to Mexico flows. Guys, oh my God. I know I repeated myself a lot, but it's just some seriously exciting stuff. We are actually on track to beat Swift. Really come a long way, but it seems to be happening quick. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning the video today. Really do appreciate it. Smash the like, subscribe. You guys know what to do. And I'll see you guys in the next one.